See, there's always an upside when you meet someone like Pops Muhammad. He just gave me this Waka Waka light as well, because I was telling him that, you know, I'm busy training for this Kilimanjaro climb that's happening in July. So he said, you take this with you and you light the way as you go. So I will do that. Cool. I'll do that. Not bad, hey? Oh, what a guy. It's so nice. But I hope it goes off. Oh, well, you can see it's not powered by Eskom. It doesn't go off. Okay, sorry about that. Fashion Meets Radio, the Fashion Lab radio live show. It's a first for Africa. Now, the radio show, the main focus is to provide a platform where upcoming designers in Africa can grow and develop within the fashion industry. Joining us in studio to shed more light on this new venture is the host and producer of the show, Morwick Pietersen, as well as his co-host, Kayla Stamboul. Good to have both of you. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for having us here.
Such a pleasure. Firstly, what did you do to your leg, Kayla? So you thought I wasn't going to mention it. I don't think you thought I saw that, did you?
I had this. I thought that I would, maybe I'd change my shoes, but then I was like, you know what? I fractured my foot. I'm just going to come on. I'm going to keep my boot on. It's not the most stylish thing ever. I don't think anybody. You can't notice it. It's so
of course
small.
Not. No one will notice except for me.
I think except for me.
I mean, you can't even see it on that shot. But I'm just telling everybody that because it felt good to have these fashion gurus here in studio, and one with you don't have a big high heel, and
yes.
It's a good feel. Thank you for making me feel better about that. So, what sparked this idea? Where did it all come from?
Lan, this concept was conceptualized by myself and Liz Ugombo, who is also one of the co-producers and co-host on the show, and it was really just to dissect the business behind fashion, because what happens especially now in South Africa and Africa, that people concentrate so much on the glitz and the glam that people forget that fashion is a business. So this came about is where we get all the key players within the fashion industry, and we set a platform for them on cliffcentral.com where our show is hosted.
Yeah.
And we really just go into what it takes to be in this fashion industry, but the business side. So we really dissect the business behind fashion.
Okay, because fashion is business.
Fashion is business.
It really is. I mean, when you look at this industry, and we have loads of conversations with whether it be designers, whether it be the organizers of the fashion weeks that we have all around South Africa. Yeah. I mean, you talk about this, and it's a growing industry that's employing a lot of people, and people are doing very, very well.
Yes.
So, I mean, this is it's a big angle, this business angle. What do you know about it? I mean, how big is it for South Africa?
I think that the fashion industry is huge, like you said. So I think it was so important for us to start a show like this where we can bring in those key players, bring in the CEO of the African Fashion Institute and find out how people can get onto that. Bring in, because it's a very small industry but big at the same time, and there are so many people that play so many important roles. So our platform was really to bring all those people together, talk about fashion, to have these open talks, because a lot of the time people cannot access the fashion industry. It's such a difficult industry to access, and that is mainly the main objective of the show, is to bring all those people together and to say, look, here are these people, this is what we can do, this is what they can do for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So talk to us a little bit about your backgrounds, so, to sort of make us the fashion guru. Well, you don't need to talk to me about your background. I can see that you're a fashion guru, but talk to me a bit about what you've done.
So, Leanne, I studied fashion design and visual merchandising in the United States of America. So when I left South Africa, I wasn't in the fashion industry. So I got involved in the fashion industry in the United States. And when I got back home, I discovered that a lot of designers are not concentrating on the business behind fashion, and that's the thing that has to drive your business. For example, and you cannot be in a showcase, spend loads and loads, thousands of money, but then your clothing is not selling.
Yeah.
It has to sell in order for you to go on to the next platform. So when I came home, I started with another partner of mine, Design and Agent Showcase, and that was just to bring all emerging designers and established designers together, and where we just invite, various key players and buyers, but from different boutiques. So that's how this whole fashion lab was born and conceptualized.
Yeah. What about yourself?
So I studied fashion design from Lice of Design and Retail Academy, and I actually met Mo through a friend of ours,
mutual
family friend. And he brought us together and said, look, you guys are both into fashion, what can you do? My background, I'm also a fashion blogger as well, as well as a fashion designer. So I come into the show more on a trend analysis point of view. So I say, what's happening in the fashion industry? What is the future of fashion? We look at technology, we look at the history, we look at pop culture. There are so many different elements that we covered in Trend.
So tell me about Cliff Central, because, you know, we all know Gareth Cliff. I mean, he was here. He was at the SABC having a show that was probably one of the biggest shows on radio. And then at the peak of his career, left and opens up Cliff Central, which was one of the biggest shocks of this industry. And now he's got this concept going, which is certainly growing. What attracted you to that? What was it that you sort of saw in Cliff Central and thought, we're going to pitch our idea there? How did it work?
Because Leanne, our show is focused on Pan-Africa, on not just South Africa. So through Gareth Cliff, that platform, he reaches out to, you know, Pan-Africa and globally. So for us, that was the main reason why we went there. It's because we're reaching an audience that is not just South African, but African. So with having our co-host, Liz Ugumbo, who is originally from Kenya, but based now here in South Africa. So the scene was just amazing because she brings also an element of what is happening within the rest of Africa. You know, she's very knowledgeable of what is happening in the fashion industry in Kenya, in Nigeria, and
what's amazing about Cliff Central, because it's online, you can stream in anywhere in the world where you are. And also for myself, because I'm a fashion blogger, you have followers from all over. So when you tell people, please tune in, please listen to the show, please, no matter where you are, that is the most amazing thing about Cliff Central. You can tune in anywhere that you are.
I think another great selling point for anything that's online is that, listen, if you are not watching Morning Live between 6 and 8, you miss out. But if you're not listening to the show, well, you're going to tell me now the details. There are those podcasts, which I think are proving more popular than the actual live broadcast.
Very true.
So when is the show? When does it happen?
The show is on every Wednesday, so it's today from 1 p.m. until 2 p.m.
1 to 2.
1 to 2 on a Wednesday. So if you miss the live show, you can always, an hour later, you can just go onto the site and then just download the podcast, or even on our website on fashionlabafrica.com.
So it's fashionlabafrica.com and Gareth Cliff.
What's it? CliffCentral.com. So from 1 to 2, it's live streaming. And then thereafter, if you miss the show, which is the most amazing thing about it, you can just go download the podcast, you can listen to it. Because I feel like people are very busy. You know, not everybody has time
That's the future
to be
of
sitting
broadcasting.
down.
It really is. I mean, it's people want to watch when they can and listen when they can. Not live. It's amazing. But you don't stop watching Morning Live. Don't even think about it. You can't be late for work, so it's not something you can rewind. You've got to wake up and watch us. That goes without saying. Before we wrap, because I know I'm going to wrap now and we're getting Pops to sing for us, possibly the most important question of this entire interview, how do you get your hair to do that?
So, Leanne, it takes me about 5 hours. Yesterday, my stylist, Rochelle, she took 5 hours because I colored it. So once it's up, it's just a whole lot of blow-drying hairspray. And then it's like up for 8-10 days.
I think the most important question is, how does he sleep?
No, trust me, I sleep.
Because it's up for about 10 days, so how does he sleep?
I wake up like
Very
this.
beautiful.
Wake up like that. Oh, yeah, I've heard that song before. Well, I'm impressed.
Thank you so much.
And it's got a swirl like I've never seen. Guys, that's what makes you the fashion leaders. Okay, Mo Pietersen, thank you so much for joining us. Kayla Stamboul, thank you. We'll be listening to you. Cliff Central, that's where you can catch them 1 to 2 every single Wednesday, talking about all things fashion. Let's take a break.